Hello and welcome to Life Less Ordinary. It is the beginning of the new year and we have a few things that are going to be happening in the coming weeks where we're going to be entertaining some people. One thing in particular is our fifth son's 18th birthday and he's just wanting something small where we just have barbecue and he has some friends over to watch a movie, have barbecue outside with just close family and a couple of friends. So what we need to do is tidy up this area, which for the last 5 months has essentially had a lot of my seedlings growing. So it has a lot of the paraphernalia, all the pots, coconut coir. I have actually harvested my garlic, so it's actually sitting on the table over there. I've braided into a couple of lots, so it's over there. Just a whole heap of stuff there. That does need to be tidied up so that we can then get a table out here and so that it just feels nice as we walk back outside. The other thing that we'll need to do, because they are sitting here, is I've just purchased a couple more seedlings from Bunnings yesterday. So now that it's actually not raining this afternoon, I'm going to plant some of those things out there. I haven't had any success in growing the Tromoncino zucchini this year. I've had 2 really good years of it. However, the seeds just seem to die. The seedlings, when they get there, get to a certain height, I plant them out and then they get eaten. So it's just really frustrating. So I've had to resort to the usual blackjack, a zucchini, and I think I've got a gold one as well, a gold rush one, just so that I can actually have some zucchini this season. So those will all need to be planted out as well. And just tidying up here, we've just got pots here, which you may have seen in other videos, particularly of the pineapples that we're trying to grow from those crowns. They're actually doing quite well. You can see there that they're actually the pups sort of coming along quite well. So this will be a year now, and they're doing remarkably well, but I do need to just tidy them up, get some weeds out of there. So that's what I'm planning that we're going to be doing. Tobias here is putting up his soccer goal. He has one already down the back that he got for his birthday back in August. But for Christmas we got him a soccer goal to even it out, so that will make that a bit more fun for the kids. I don't know whether you can see, I might actually take a closer shot, but there is a whole heap of branches that are down there that are on the ground. It was in the middle of one of those days when I was really unwell, and I was actually laying on these lounges here trying to get some fresh air and in the middle of delirium and whatever else. But up the top here of this tree, we just heard these cracks, and then all of a sudden all these branches just dropped. It managed to collect part of the chicken fencing, so within 20 minutes Dean and Simeon are out here with axes, sort of just trying to tidy it up a bit. If you've watched any of our other videos, there was some that we did in maybe November, I think, when we were trying to tidy up some of the wood for up here. We talked about our chainsaw and the fact that it needed to be repaired. Well, it still hadn't been repaired, so this is the sum total of what we've been able to do with these branches so far, just with the axes. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock, I have to say. Oh dear. But yeah, the Dean and Simeon got out here and tried to chop it up a bit so that we could at least move it off the chicken fencing. We've had to cut a couple of panels out of the chicken fencing because it did land. Oh, here, I'll be able to see it if I show you here. So that's where it splits. Like the whole top of the tree just split. So it was in two lots. One lot came down, and then about 5 minutes later the next massive branch came down. So I'm just thankful that it was drizzly enough that none of us were out here, because that would not have been pleasant. None of the chickens got hit, which is also good, but this is what we have been left with. All this debris that we do need to tidy up. It did actually also collect a couple of branches on its way down. So you can see there's one there that it's collected. So a couple here. Yeah, so anything that was in its path, they sort of took down. So we've got all of this and all of this to deal with. But like I said, without the chainsaw for the moment. So this is where the leftovers of the seedlings that I had put out to harden off back in November, maybe early December, but they have been somewhat neglected. So we're going to tip most of it into the compost. Oh, there's one zucchini that's come back up. I shall go and plant that one out. That's my tromboncino, isn't it? What does it say? Oh no, Long Florence. Okay. Still, I will not waste that. I will go and plant that down the back with all the other ones that I'm going to plant. But no tromboncino. Oh, never mind.
Which one do you want the rest of?
So all the rest of that can go over on the compost. And then if you pile up the seedling trays, and then we'll put them back in the greenhouse to use again next time. Oh, what are you doing there, Trin? Okay. Are you going to help?
No.
What are you going to do?
Jump on the trampoline.
How about you help? Okay, here. Do you want to take some of these over? You could take that one. I might actually still be able to use.
The soil.
But yeah, so it's got some new seedlings. So this one here, I had a large amount of a baby leaf lettuce in here, and we did get a bit of lettuce off it. So it's all died off.
Paint is coming off.
So there's some stuff growing back through. So what I might do is replenish that with more seed, so we can have some nice lettuce that we can easily just chop off baby leaf stuff to use for lettuces when I don't have to go all the way down to the back garden. Trinity's just talking about wanting to have her own garden. At the moment she's got the window boxes out the front of the kitchen.
Be careful, there's no
But she wants to be able to grow some of her own food. What sort of food do you think you want?
Cucumbers, carrots, she wants yellow beans.
You like beans. So these are all things you like snacking on, isn't it? Yeah.
Pumpkin? Maybe lettuce. No pumpkin.
Not pumpkin. She doesn't like pumpkin.
She's fine with me going for this. What do I do with this? Yes.
So that will just go straight in there. Yeah, so we are big on growing what we eat here. So
My
if Trinity
So I want to see.
likes cucumbers and carrots, then we will grow cucumbers and carrots, and she can try and do the work
She can try and do it.
while playing and being Trinity.
Mum, what do I do with this? Are you
Yeah, I'll
actually
have that
gonna
one.
weed your garden, or are you just gonna leave me to do it?
Oh.
You know, with gardening, there's work. I've just learned that if you don't weed it when it's small, you're gonna have a lot of trouble when it's big.
You learnt that the hard way this last week, didn't you?
Yep.
Mom, when I get food, can I not have the bad type of dinner?
What's the bad type of dinner?
Well, sometimes you cook bad type of dinner.
She's saying
Like
she
what?
can make herself dinner if when she doesn't like pumpkin
What's the
soup.
bad? You don't. Okay,
Pumpkin
yes, you don't like
soup.
pumpkin soup.
Some type of spaghetti stuff.
Love
You like?
spaghetti.
Don't you like bolognese?
Well, I don't like meatballs.
You don't like meatballs.
Yeah.
Do you like mince with the spaghetti?
Not that.
You just like the spaghetti, don't you? What's your favourite food? When you have spaghetti, what do you like to do with it?
Cheese.
So parmesan cheese, oil, yeah, and salt.
Salt.
Lots of salt.
How come I'm turning into that? I feel like not eating.
Probably very Italian, actually. Unlike us, who like to put every kind of sauce with it.
I like making
Is it strange to have mustard with sausages?
That who?
To have mustard with sausages.
No, not really.
Is it strange to have tomato sauce with just bread?
I used to do that growing up when I'd
Tree
come home
does
from
it.
school and I'd have tomato sauce on bread.
Dad, I don't feel like.
Sorry, Mum, if you didn't realise that. So the girls have just found some snails. They're just throwing them to the chickens down in that enclosure. Managed to tip all this out. And they'll go and put that on the compost. So job well done. This here is a very stinky container that has comfrey leaves from out the front. We have lots and lots of comfrey. So this is essentially a free fertiliser. I've placed huge amounts of leaves in there and then filled it with water. I weighted it down for a week with a brick so that the leaves would all be under the liquid. But it has been probably a month now. I would normally start diluting this out to give mainly to the vegetables down the back, but even to the fruit trees. I would normally start diluting that from about 3 weeks, and I normally have a couple of buckets of this going. How'd you go?
They're afraid of them.
They're afraid of the snails. Now, that's interesting. Anyway, they'll learn. So this is at the point where it definitely needs to be diluted and started putting out on the vegetables. So we'll probably do that as well this afternoon. So it appears like I've been left to do this all by myself. I've got one son who's practicing piano, 2 daughters who are down on the trampoline. Someone's got to do it. So these are the garlic that I was talking about. I'm very proud of these. So this should do us for a little while, hopefully. I definitely did not plant enough garlic this last season. So I will definitely try planting much more next year. So that's usually, I think I normally plant around Anzac Day. So that's around the end of April, 25th of April. I have a feeling I didn't plant until after that. So it would have been well into May when I planted this year. So, and that means that I did that because I didn't get my order in for the garlic from the seed company. So this year I will do better. You know what I'll do? Put it in my diary. Order garlic and then plant garlic. I have to put it in my diary, in my calendar on my phone, otherwise I will forget. So I've found somewhere inside for the garlic. The kids have taken some things up the front for all these pots. I'll get them to do the rest of this. And then, so what I have done, I'm just realising, I've planted a whole heap of new dahlias this last season, and because I'm useless at remembering things, I have actually taken photos on my phone with the different varieties, and I'm keeping these, and I'm going to put these into the greenhouse where I've got the rest of things stored, so that say if I want to put some dahlias in the Mossvale show, they usually like to know what variety. I can look at what it is, come back and have either look at my phone or look at the pictures that I've got stored in the greenhouse, and then I can figure out what variety it is, and then somewhere down the track I may actually remember what those varieties are, but that's highly unlikely. So we've managed to get most of it at least tidied up. Things moved. Things that are here that can't be moved are still there. But we're also in the middle of a golf tutorial. That's just how we roll here. But it is nice to see the older sibling helping the younger ones and having a conversation about it. I will not get in the way of that. Trin, ourselves, what are you doing?
Getting sticky tape off cardboard.
Sticky tape off cardboard because we're trying to expand some of the garden over there.
That's what you're doing.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Which means if we're putting cardboard down, what needs to go down afterwards? Mulch. At some point we'll be going to get some more mulch. Anyway, so I'm happy with what we've done here. Things have been put away. I'm now going to go and plant some seedlings out, and I think Dean's just gone to get his work clothes on so that he can help us net the fig trees out the front. We finally managed to find a 10 metre by 10 metre net for the 3 fig trees that are absolutely massive. This year we are not going to lose the figs to the birds, so we're going to net them today. And this is the fig trees that we're going to try and net today before it starts raining. Dean's in the middle of just trying to take this trellising down because we don't actually need it here. And then we'll get these nets over. Lots of figs on those. So we want to roll this out. Hang on.
There's a corner.
That's it. So I thought I had this corner.
I wonder what she's going on about. There's 2 people in there. That's crazy. Oh, how did he do that? It's on the roof now. It's crazy. There's another one.
The other side of it.
It's my button is so rude.
Up in the air at the moment.
It's not.
Then pull it a bit more this way.
So So we've managed to put the net and secure the figs. Again, the wood, the chopped wood, is being put to use to anchor the net down in places. But that's that job completed. So all the work up there has been done that we wanted to get done. The boys are back to hitting a golf ball around, having their golf tutorial. Dean's weeding out the front, thankfully, for me. And I've just come down the back here to plant these zucchini, but some watermelon, a few other things, before it decides to throw it down. But we've managed to get quite a bit of work done, considering a couple of us are recovering from being unwell for 2 weeks. Anyway, thanks for joining us in our interesting afternoon as we live our life less ordinary.